Wi-Fi here. Just for my own ear's sake. All right. Oh, I was off completely. How about now? Is that better? Let me know if I need to turn up the volume some more. Hello! Hello! All right. Can you hear me a bit better now? Ah, way better. Perfect. Excellent. Gotta have volume under control. Jeez, Chris. Jeez. Alright. So, one thing I'm noticing is I didn't start the eyes for these giants. So let's do the eyes. That'll give them some more character to them. And you know, I don't want to smudge any paint off today, so I'm gonna do the one-handed glove. How are you today? Good evening to you, my Lule. I'm excited to hear that you're interested in trying to start streaming. I was very excited when I saw you you post that. Yeah, I am, but only this can. You?
Okay, I need to work.
Oh, you need to work. Okay, perfect. Well, people can hear you, but they can't see you.
That's okay.
Okay. Some shiny eyes? Nah, I'm gonna do glowy eyes. Gonna try and do the same kind of eyes that I did for this giant. Let's see here, very good. So let's take her hair bit off there. So that's still not glued on. Yeah. Let's see here. You know, maybe I should get a more refined tip. I've been putting off replacing my brushes. And I've gone as far as to even using dollar store brushes. I should probably stop being so cheap and get some new brushes because I kind of need them. But I'm a pinch stingy on the terms of brushes. I'm like, no, it's still usable. It's still good. It still holds paint. I bought so many new brushes, but still use the old broken one. That's entertaining. I like that. Hey, Lydia. Sounds good. I'm happy to hear that you're painting again. I remember when I first invited you over, you were feeling a little bit of a creative slump, so it's nice to see you back in the groove, and I've been loving seeing your paintings in the server. I'm so happy to hear that. That makes me so happy. I can't express. Yeah, I feel like having a nice little community really it helps keep me stay engaged too. Because I mean, I definitely feel that way sometimes. Are her eyes really weirdly shaped? Now that I'm painting them, I don't know if like the crown is crooked. I see what happened. I missed a spot. Come on. I still didn't even do it the full thing. One eye is huge. I never would have noticed that before. Hey, Mikey, how's it going? Continuing the giants. Just starting up their eyes. Big old glowy eyes. That is super watery. I need to deal with that. Get it? These giants seem like a big project. Hey, Steven, nice to see ya. Demon Eyes. Hello, Apple. Yes, Steven, I get it. I get it. And thank you there, Mikey. Some Chaos Marines. Oh, that's right. I remember seeing the first model that you put up there. It looked super cool. Heck. Get that off his cheek. Get a second brush here and just kind of soak all that up. There we go. troubles with that either. Doesn't help that the brush in the paint is just soaking up a little bit too much moisture. Here we go. Let's try this. Get some of that there. I don't know if that's just an awkward space or what that is. It's a little bit better. We got a little bit. And there's pluck that off. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on right now, so I can't really read what's going on in the chat. Fun fact for those who don't wear glasses, if you are short sight like me, or short-sighted, your glasses can actually make it harder to see things that are close up if your vision is bad enough, like mine. So, if I want to see something very up close, I actually have to take my glasses off because it makes things smaller. The fiery hair is so good. Always struggled to make things actually look glowy. Oh, well, thank you. I think the camera makes it look a little bit better. I do have to give credit to the camera on this. But I think this one can actually use a little bit more yellow. But I appreciate that. I really like how it turned out in the first Fire Giant. She's got the best glowy hair, and I think it really helps that the rest of the model is very dark in tone, because one of the best ways I find to make something brighter is to surround it by darker things, and that contrast really just like will pump everything up. And just give a little bit more yellow in the mustache up here. And then he's like, whoa. It's like an inferno. But thank you, I really appreciate that, Lydia. That means a lot, because I consider you to be a better painter. If I'm being honest. I love the stuff you do. Oh man. The beard, though. Thank you, Lemons. How you doing? Yeah. Yeah, he's got a nice, super fiery beard right now. I'm wondering if I can finally increase the exposure here. Yes, I can. Okay. There we go. So it's a little bit more glowy looking. It's a super bright day here today, so I actually have to. I set up my lighting setup, but I don't have any of it turned on right now except for my headlamp, because the moment I turn things on, it makes no difference, and it's just a aggressive sunny day today. So, them's the breaks, you know. So we're just gonna go over all of this here. But how you doing today, Lemons? Haven't seen you for a while. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm wearing t-shirts and a short right now, or t-shirt and shorts right now with how warm my office is right now. Actually, let me go open the door to get some little bit more circulation in here. So I don't die. See here, so we got some more yellow in there. Let's get this big, so I actually need this to be a bit more. Swap for the brushes, slightly rounder tip. And get this here. Yeah, no, I don't know if any of you guys have played it before. I've been really getting excited about the game Frostgrave. And I was going through the list of monsters they use and kind of making a checklist of like, what do I have? Is there anything that I need to put priority on painting? When I'm done these fire giants, I'm actually going to do a frost giant. She's pretty small compared to like a WizKids giant, but she's actually like super ideal for Frostgrave, which is awesome. Because there's not quite as many super large miniatures in Frostgrave. Let's see here. Being super busy. School is keeping me busy. Yeah, I can imagine. You're a parent. I've been playing Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I've been seeing that most of your streams have been like Minecraft streams lately. Are you putting miniature stuff on hold for the time being? Loading up on the nostalgia train. Understandable. Let's see here. Get slightly darker yellow. Just touch up a little bit of that. Okay, there we go. I'm kind of liking that a bit better. And now when I put that on here, you can see there's that bright transition. Oh, did Snazzy get exposed? I didn't catch that news. Well, I hope he's got a swift recovery. Best of luck to him. So what we're going to do here is to try and continue that that redness. It's one of the themes that we're doing here is we're trying to get it to look more cooled off as it progressively gets farther away from her head. So we're gonna have more intense redness, and it's gonna help these ponytails look less like Cheetos. No, that's fair. Well, best of the tips of the braids, the areas that would be most exposed, less concentrated in the heat. You can already see the improvement here. It just looks, because I was feeling like these were looking a bit like crunchy cheesies, not the cheese puffs, but like, you know, the what is it, the spicy Cheetos, that kind of deal. I don't really want these to look so orange. Ooh, having a payday with your 3D printer. Well, that's exciting. Alright, so, heyday. Yeah, whichever. Let's see here. I can't say I'm familiar with either phrase that you used, if I'm being truthful. Alright, so it's time to start adding some metally bits. So got a nice little pre-mixture. I was painting some things black outside of the stream because just painting things black is a bit boring, but I'm gonna do all the metal stuff here. There you go. Yep, I can understand that. That looks like valid English to me. Didn't even do all the black when I was supposed to. Heck. Oh, I'll just keep going. Yo, evil demon lord, nice seeing ya. Flaming Cheetos hair is pretty appropriate, not gonna lie. Yeah, the technique I've been doing for hair is a little less flattering for ponytails. Definitely makes it look like Cheetos. I think it's because it doesn't really like translate well that it's like to the texture or like the shape of hair in a ponytail, or sorry, a braid. Her ponytail's fine. Her ponytail's totally fine. But, braids, not so much. Love her boots. She's got such big, chunky boots. These are great. If I've ever seen them. What's up? Not a whole lot. Just painting some more giants. I'm starting to get known as the giant painter. Which I don't mind. I have a lot of fun with painting giants. They're like heroes, but much larger and with a lot more detail. So I actually have a lot more fun painting them. That off so it doesn't smudge onto other areas it's not supposed to. Okay. How are you doing, Evil Demon Lord? You at work today? Good stuff. Just on break, I take it? Not started yet. You start in 2 hours. Good stuff. Good stuff. And I'm looking forward to what minis you decide to paint next. Oh, no, you know, I really I can't paint that over white. I've got to paint that over black. I just gotta. Don't work otherwise. So I will fix up that missing black spot. Hello! Making tangles. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. You started going to bed earlier and earlier. Oh, I understand it's very late over there right now. but it's lovely to see you. How are you doing today? Hope everything is swell. We are just painting ourselves some fire giants. Were you doing some streaming today, making tangles? Did I miss? Normally go to bed 10. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. It's late over there. I know very well that my European viewers only usually catch the first hour or so of my streams. I completely understand. But yeah, so we're just painting this fire giant. Well, she did a faceplant. So I finally filled in her eyes with some red. Just did her boots. Oh, I missed some areas in her boots. Got to take care of that. But yeah, so no, I know if anyone ever just disappears, you know, I think nothing of it. I am understanding. Ow! Just ran over my foot. That hurt. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay, let's see here. We want this orange. No, I decided to keep it once a week. No, that's fair. Totally understandable. Where is all that water coming from? Ugh. Looks like I had some overspill when I filled this up. This one here. Sometimes watch a movie. What kind of movies do you watch? I'm forever... Where did he go? Where did who go? The Minnie? She was just lying down. I had to go grab some paints. We finished The Hobbit. Ugh. Yeah, no, I've heard nothing good about that movie. I have been very much avoiding it. It's not a movie anyone in this house has been on a huge rush to watch. The dragon was animated nicely. There you go. Is that like a fan edit, Sarah Chicken? No, we watched the boring long version. Oh, goodness gracious. The Candid Sea. It makes me so happy. Bills. Yeah, Legolas was never meant to be in that movie. Like, nothing against Orlando Bloom. He's a beautiful man, but it's not supposed to be in that movie. Like I will die on the hill that Orlando Bloom is hot, but like Legolas is not supposed to be in that movie. Okay, I need to take this off the camera for 1 sec. It definitely feels like, from what I've been told and I've heard, it definitely feels like a lot more love was put into the first trilogy. Like, a lot of care was taken into it. Alright, so starting to get some angry glowy eyes, which is perfect. Looking at this, those are already done. And I guess I could start... Yeah, I can start the metal shaft for that. No, I need to do those as well. Okay. Yeah, from what I've heard, the CGI team was overworked for The Hobbit. The worse the CGI looks, more often than not, the CGI team is overburdened with things that they weren't prepared for. So, like, a little bit of insider on, like, 3D animation studio industry. Often what will happen is when a movie is pitched or the team gets contracted on, they will be given a list of tasks like, okay, you guys need to create this many orcs or for this scene or like whatnot. But directors will often be very disregarding of those agreements and will often make decisions of we'll fix it in post, which ends up overburdening the CGI team. But it puts them into a position of, well, they, whether or not it's outside of the contract, they kind of have to do it because the film has to get finished. And they can't really just abandon the film halfway either. And so this is a lot of the reasons why you hear about there's a lack in overtime pay or like workers' compensation in the 3D studio industry, as well as why so many studios will make a movie and then they'll close down because if the studio does pay their workers their overtime hours as they should, it ends up going over budget, and they end up in a deficit, losing money on the movie, regardless of how successful the film is. It's a very messed up circle. Hey Shay, nice to see you. Hello Wolf Palpable, nice to see you as well. Oh, I've got a big air bubble in my paint palette, or wet palette. What's this wet bubble doing here? Can I remove this air bubble? There we go. Is it? Where's this wet bubble coming from? Strange. Things are going well. Oh yeah, well, and that's what I mean, right? Like, there are people that will make claims that CGI is getting worse, and that's not the case. It's a matter of expectations and delivery, and rushed jobs a lot of the time. There was a really good video where a guy gave some insight from the industry. Thank you. I appreciate that. Looks like I had some overbleeding there, so I have to fix that. Yeah, what I'm referring to Apple is more of a general statement of what's happened in the industry rather than specifically with The Hobbit, too, just for clarification. Again, I have not seen The Hobbit, so I can't really comment on The Hobbit itself. I saw a great interview actually with what's his name, Peter Jackson and Stephen Colbert, and they were talking about some of the technologies that they were using for like the big battle sequences that were happening in Lord of the Rings, and because you can't have that many actors out in a field, it's not really feasible. And so they had these AIs that they were making, and they had to do behavioral programming, like the elf fighters would do this and the orc fighters would do this, and they had to run the sequence multiple times because there was no planned outcome. It was just a matter of like, okay, well, this is how orcs fight, and this is how elves fight. Let's run the program. And sometimes I would see like one army would retreat or like stuff like that. I was like, oh man, that's so cool to hear that. Yeah, the dynamic AI battles. Yeah. So when you say that you were annoyed by orcs and goblins being the same, can you give some details on that? On what you mean by that? I'm gonna have to take a lot of you guys' words for it. I just haven't seen the movie. So I really have no way of commenting on any of this. Oh, I see, I see. So there was no variance between the goblins and the orcs. It looked like you saw the same person fighting over and over and over again. Like you would in, say, a video game. I gotcha. Actually, so in Lord of the Rings, and this is in, I think this is explained in some of his letters. Goblins and orcs are the same. Now caves are the same species, just more inbred and more deranged. But what Tolkien, because you have to remember Tolkien was a linguist, right? One creature in one land would be called a goblin, and in another region it would get called an orc. And that was goblins. Goblins in and orcs were the same in his imagination. Bye, evil demon lord. Yeah, so what happened is that the Dark Lord, that was before Sauron, he was the person who actually had created these evil races, making them from elves and the likes and such. During his reign and his time, they were more quote-unquote purebred and more devastating and the like, and over time and generations they grew weaker, and that's why you end up seeing the goblins that are so weak in like side of the mountains and stuff. They can't look at sunlight. Like those are just like the idea is that those are deranged inbred orcs, and that they are the same, one and the same. Yeah. And so the Uruk-hai, so Kai in dark speak just means people. So when we see Saruman making the Uruk-hai, what he's doing is he's actually creating pure orcs, and that is what the orcs were originally. Orc and Uruk being the same word, just again different languages, because Tolkien liked to make things confusing and very Tolkien-esque. That is one of the very few things I know well about Lord of the Rings. Anything else, I say I know nothing. because I really don't. The creator of orcs. He took the base word of Orcus, and he said, I'm going to make a people, so like the people of Orcus. And that's how the word orc came to be. He invented it. Did not exist before Tolkien, which is a weird thought. Because we kind of take that for granted, right? Like, we just assume, like, orcs are so prominent in fantasy. Oh, probably. Yeah, he probably didn't describe them at all. I know that in The Hobbit, the Seven Wars, or the Battle of the Seven Armies, is completely left out. It's just a matter that, like, Bilbo got knocked the heck out, and he woke up and the war was over. So yeah. And there's probably, truthfully, the reason why he likely didn't include all those details is because Tolkien was a veteran. He fought in wars. He did not enjoy the war. Exactly. Yeah. He didn't want to have to relive that. And if I recall correctly, there's a bit of a tonal difference between, I want to say, I could be wrong, someone can correct me here. There's a significant tonal difference in attitude towards war and hope and the like in The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, because I believe The Hobbit was written before he went to war, and The Lord of the Rings was after. Again, I could be completely wrong on that. So, feel free to say, no, Chris, you are wrong. Because I am well aware that I am speaking outside of my knowledge on that. Yeah, oh yeah, the Hobbit was specifically written for his son, if I recall correctly. Man, my hands are so shaky today. The Hobbit was unwritten as far as I know for many years. Yeah, he came up with the story for his son and then didn't publish it until later, but I could be speaking out of my butt. I would have to look into it again. I had heard that it was originally a story that he told for his son. Or I read that somewhere. I don't know. A lot of information can sometimes be jarbled and mixed up with other details. There we go. Alright, so I got her greaves all ready for metal paint. Yeah. It was unwritten, and his son kept correcting him on the details. Yep, I could believe that. I could totally believe that. Can you leave the door open here?
Yep.
For the airflow? Thank you. I like the breeze. The breeze is good. It's very warm today. January has no right being so sunny and so warm. Where's my snow? Hello, Chris. S.O.? Huh? Oh, so, yes. Yes. As she walked in and out. She has no intention on ever showing her face. Congratulations. That is the most you will ever get to know or see of her. This lucky crowd. Fierce mild. I would love mild. I mean, okay, so the thing is, like, my apartment gets significantly warmer than the outside because just it's well insulated, but we've got like these massive windows, so we turn into this kind of like this greenhouse or this hot box. And it's just very blech. She doesn't have to, but yeah, no. Oh, well, thank you, Making Tangles. Yes, she is lovely. She is remarkably supportive and is the main reason I am. You know, if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have some of the people say you're lovely.
Aw, thank you.
Oh, you get to hear a thank you. I hope you got to hear the thank you. Yes, no, it's only because of her that I have the drive to do things like jump on a camera and stream, because she gave me a little bit more, you know, self-motivations or start business sense, whatever we want to call it. So, hello, Fiddlewort. Nice to see you. Fiddlewort, you're going to be probably one of the only people who will get to meet her in person one day. That's Mia's partner. Nice to see you today, Fiddlewort. Fiddlewort, I have to ask, okay, you have buildings and all the likes. Do you ever play Frostgrave? I have been getting into Frostgrave. And given that you and me live Thoreau, I would love to either A, play D&D with you sometime, or, if you're interested, Frostgrave, because that requires less people than D&D. Can't wait to meet in person. Oh my god, same here. Oh my goodness. I just can't wait for like life to resume back to normal again. Yeah, so I got the PDF for it and I need to get my hands on a physical copy just because this makes it easier. Having it on hands for rule clarifications and yada yada. But yeah, no, me and my partner, because we traditionally play D&D in person with people, so we haven't really been able to play D&D, so I was like, hey, do you want to play a game where you play as a wizard with his band of thugs and go and collect gold? And she got very, very excited about that, so because she usually plays as a thief. Alright, so we're just getting the base tin colors, tin, brass, whichever we want to call this. Once I get this greave done, I'll do the next layer of yellow for the eyes. Definitely has a lot more character. What have you been doing lately, Fiddlewort? I haven't seen notifications for your streams recently, but also YouTube doesn't like to tell me anything. And also, feel free to use my Discord self-promotion channel. You know, I am super self-promotion friendly. Taking a streaming break, but we'll be back up shortly. Looking forward to it. Yeah, because, oh my goodness, you have like all of the terrain. Like, just all of it. Every bit of terrain. It's yours. It's Fiddlewort's. You know, you heard it here first, folks. I love it. I would love to play with your setup sometime. Oh my goodness. We recently got a piano. Oh, I haven't played a piano in forever. Did you guys get like an electric piano, or did you get like a real piano? I say real, I mean electric piano is a real piano, but you know, I don't know. I don't know how else to describe a time to go to bed. Have a good night making tangles. Lovely to see you again. It's a digital one, yeah. Oh, exactly. Apartment living. Like, I ask because I don't know, but like, yeah, no. Anyone who lives in the city, it's having a real piano. Oof, oh my goodness. I mean, most people our age live in an apartment of people. Yeah, no. I've recently just started doing some like little terrain pieces. I just ordered like some house ruins online because I need terrain both both for my D&D games that work really well. Like I'll be able to use it for both that and for Frostgrave. I'm trying to be smart about how I go about it to make sure that a anything I get has more than one use, and b not to cause storage problems in the house. I'll move this a little further back. So like I've been it is way too warm in here. I'm making these little fences. So I've got these I've just been painting up. I've had these forever. These are from I think they're from Zombicide Black Plague, the Green Horde. And then I've got storage is always an issue. And then I got these little hedge pieces that I painted up. These were obviously super easy. I just do a bunch of dark green and then dry brush over them, which was nice. I still got to finish up the stones, but yeah, storage is always a challenge. Especially since like I have the terrible knack for purchasing faster than I can paint. And there's always something that I don't have that I'm like, oh, but I need that. It's like, do you, Chris? I'm like, yes. The miniature goblin inside of me is like, ooh, purdy. Doesn't everyone do that? Yeah, no, that just means that you're like a hobbyist, right? God, I can see how much my hands are shaking. Oh. But I ate breakfast. That's supposed to make the shakes not happen. Heck. Yeah, no, I found this remarkable Etsy shop where this person does their own hand sculpted miniatures. Besides Malleus also does that, but like there was like this big rhino person, there was like a pufferfish person, like, and these were beautiful resin minis, and I was like, oh my goodness. I posted them in the Discord server yesterday. Hello again. Goodbye. And I even got permission to get them because I had to ask for permission. Because I recognize I am not the only person who lives in this house. No, this track is always so much louder than the rest. There we go. Oh, but it looks like it made it a little too quiet. There we go. What was I saying? Yeah, I got permission to get them, but under the condition that I don't paint them flat, mute, and I make them exciting looking, because I was accused of too many bland colors, which is valid. I mean, I use a lot of browns, I use a lot of greens. And, you know, immediately I was like, but I made a giant with purple skin. And she's like, yeah, stuff like that. Do more of that. I'm like, okay, fine. How this paint turns out. So will you use heavy layering? I don't know. I'll be doing something, but like they're like some of these minis were like rhino and elephant people, so they're like I'm gonna do gray skin on them, but like I was like, okay, well, what I could do is I can like do some do some like war paints on them. Ooh, that is strong. This orange feels more like a yellow. But yeah, I was like, I could do some like red and blue war paint on them, and that'll be fun. That'll be a little different. I have a unicorn I need to paint up super colorful like that. Like the Mumaks? What are the Mumaks? I'm gonna have to look at that up. Ah, yeah. Glowy face. Basically, giant elephants. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah. They were like mounts, though, right? So these elephants. I'll go and I'll open up Discord and I'll share you guys the link so you guys can better see what I'm referring to. Here you go. They're more like the, what are they called? The Loxodon from Magic the Gathering. Let's see, what else do I need to do? I need to paint this guy's helmet black. I also need to do his boots. I know, right? Like, aren't those remarkable? And I was like, these must be 3D modeled. But I looked at their Instagram, and I got to see like the sculpts that they did. I'm pretty sure it's a polymer clay that just happens to be green. I don't think it's actual green stuff, because sculpting something like that in green stuff, I don't know. It's not impossible, but it's mind-boggling that anyone would be able to do that. But I do know that there are people that actually sculpt using green stuff, and that blows me away. Like, I cannot comprehend. Um, but yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, no. So actually, I was having a discussion with um, Kay at Arthisia Creations, and I think it's worthwhile talking about in here. And that's just kind of like the imposter syndrome that people can experience when they work in something that's artistic. And I was watching Ninjon recently, and he did a video also talking about the discussion of like, what to do when you feel like your your thing, whatever it is that you've just worked on, isn't up to par. And I don't know if any of you guys are subscribed to Ninjon. He's a great YouTuber. And anyways, basically just the idea that, like, for one, it's kind of in our evolution to not find our work satisfactory, because that is a drive for us to improve. Um, if I was to give like an example, you build a straw hut, and it's a shelter and it works, but you might not be satisfied with it. You're like, oh, I don't think the structural integrity is good, which eventually leads you to developing a clay hut, which then leads you to maybe a wooden hut or like a baked clay hut, so forth and so forth. Just that strive for constant improvement, right? But I was talking with Kay about it, and I was describing. I was like, whenever like I'm working on this and like it's not done, I feel like, yeah, I did this. This was me. But once I've finished a miniature and I'm happy with it, my mindset completely changes. It does this 180, and it immediately goes to, I did not do that. This was not me. Photographic evidence of me painting this fire giant, and I'm happy with it. I am my mind, my mental state is convinced that this was a fluke, or this was a one-off, or that the ghost of Bob Ross possessed me and Bob Ross painted it. And it's just this fascinating like complex of like not being able to find satisfaction in your own work. And she was like, yep, no, it's the exact same thing that I encounter when I'm like, whenever I do something that I'm remotely pleased with, like just that immediate deflection of, it is impossible for me to take any form of credit or like compliment. It's just like, yep, nope, that was not me. I did not do that. Or no, it's not that good. Like I just think it's fascinating. And for anyone who else that feels that, I just want you to know that we just about all artists experience this in some way, unless perhaps like you were raised artistic and you got positive feedback from your parents as a kid, and you have a good understanding of where you yourselves are. Outside of that spectrum, which, let's face it, very, very, very few of us grew up with that. As Ninjon half jokingly expressed, he's like, if you do not feel this, you're a narcissist. Which is a little extreme. I wouldn't take that necessarily approach, but I definitely think that it is far more common that you're going to feel bad about your own achievements rather than good. Yeah, in programming, yeah, anything, any act of creation. Um, you know, I just thought that was funny, especially the narcissist bit. But yeah, just it's I do feel that it's important for us to try and take and accept as hard as it is to accept the compliments that we are given. Don't we should all try to do better at not knee-jerkingly deflecting positive feedback, because I am, you know, my first instinct is no. But we should try to accept the compliments we are given, because it can also be, if not for ourselves, accept the compliment because the person who is giving it might not be able to achieve the same results that we are. And if we say it's bad, we're kind of indirectly saying that they'll never be able to achieve something like that, or creating that mindset at least. So let's, if someone says good work, as hard as it is, let's try to say thank you. That doesn't make you terrible, Snazzy Dame. It doesn't make you terrible. And nice to see you, Snaz. No, I try to be proud. I try to be happy with the things that I do. I do try. It's not easy sometimes. I will say, though, more often than not, I end up looking at my pieces and I end up loading better. But, what's poppin'? Not a whole lot. Just giants. Just painting giants. How about you, bud? Haven't seen you for a while. Hope all is well. What am I doing with this tiny brush? Let's grab a big fat honker. There we go. Honkin' brush. That's what we're talking about. Number 5. Yeah, just I did this this fire giant and I was pretty happy with it, so did these two. Waiting to get the results from the dreaded COVID test. Yep. Sounds like you got exposed or you got a cough or something. Best of luck. If you're not feeling well, hope for a swift recovery. But it sounds like you're being responsible, which is nice. More people need to be responsible. Oh, thank you. I liked it. I like it a lot. Quite happy with how that turned out. And from a distance, it's got a nice glowy look, so I did a material trade with Berserker Works, fellow Canadian streamer. He dislikes Privateer Press bases. I dislike Games Workshop bases. So we mailed each other some packages. So I'm kind of waiting on those to come in, and hopefully No, hopefully he's got some big ones. If he's got some big bases, I can slap these guys on them. If not, need to... I mean, they don't really need bases right now, but hopefully be able to get something. Yeah. I think what I'm happiest with these minis is just getting like dark skin tones done. Like that's to do so and get it to look right. It's not necessarily the easiest. There's a couple things and products that are available, but just in general, like just going from like base coat and then layering, I'm quite happy with these. I feel like I've kind of nailed down that like darker skin tone. So kids made me a Hero Forge mini for Christmas. Pizza in one hand and hammer in the other. That's awesome. My partner for Christmas designed a Hero Forge mini of me. Just need to get it printed out. And it was me with 2 cats, a piece of chicken, and a D20. So I love fried chicken. Specifically, I need to be clear on that. I like Korean fried chicken. Western fried chicken, it's alright. KFC's garbage. I'll upset whoever is upset by that. I'll say it. KFC is gross. But Korean fried chicken? I will say I do like, who is it? Church's Chicken. Church's Chicken's really good. Going and upsetting more people. Sorry. Chicken is delicious. I mean, there's a lot of ways of prepping chicken, right? There's a lot of ways of doing it. So... Oh, the stale oil taste. Yeah, no, that's kind of what I'm referring to. Like, to me, that's what I associate KFC with. Church's Chicken, not so much. I can't say for how Church's Chicken in the States is. Church's Chicken up here is really good, though. They're probably one of the best ones in terms of, like, franchises. Because we have different food regulations in the States. You've never had it. L.A. Chicken in Richmond. You know what, Fiddlebert? I will... You show me a chicken place, I'll go check it out. So in terms of local places in Vancouver, my favorites are Big Chicken Town, which is a Korean place, Church's Chicken, and... what is it? 24/7 Chicken, is that what it's called? I can't remember. 24. Basically, it's this 24 hours a day chicken place. It's made from like ex members of KFC and Church's Chicken and stuff, and like they left to make their own company. And it's, oh my goodness, it is so good. It's a very Filipino style way of doing chicken. But I want to say that they're only in Canada for now. Ah, yes. The darker I make the rest of this mini, the more his skin is popping, and that makes me so happy. Everyone here's probably already heard it, so I'm going to bore people, but I'm just going to talk about painting skin tones for a moment here. I've talked with a lot of mini painters, and a lot of us want to paint more characters with dark skin tones. But there's this intimidation factor that a lot of people face where they want to do it because it's weird when everyone is white or Caucasian in your miniature collection. But like when we paint human skin tone that's white, like lighter skin tones, um, not to say darker skin tones are not human, just not non fantasy is what I'm referring to. Um, Skin tones, like when it's lighter and stuff, like if we mess up or we do a bad job, we just call it a bad paint job and we laugh at it, and like, you know, it's the end of the day. But when you're painting someone who's got a dark skin tone and you yourself are of a light skin tone, there's kind of this like there's this fear of getting it wrong, or at least for myself there's this very real concern that if I do this incorrectly or if it looks bad or goofy, like I feel this, and it's entirely from myself, this pressure, because I'm not, like, I am just painting this fantasy miniature, but I'm at the same time painting something that is a representation of a real culture and real people, right? Or, well, skin tone's not culture, but you get what I mean. Like, if it's like a light skin tone and it looks bad, I just whatever, because that's my skin tone. But I really want to make sure that I do a good job. Like, after this, I do want to try more skin tones just to see if I can get it right, but it's a fascinating kind of impact on your own I don't know where I'm going with this, but basically for myself what I ended up doing is I ended up just taking a bunch of reference pictures, and I took Photoshop, I took the eyedropper tool, I took the paintbrush tool, and I just made a really big circle, and I would try to mix paints on my palette, dab my brush, hold it out to my screen, obviously not touching it, and be like, is this color look right? Because you want to do a good job. And again, it's really weird when all of someone's miniatures are white. Like, unless you're doing like something like historical, and you're doing like Vikings or the like then like I understand, but anything else, it's just it's weird, you know. They do. And you know what? So you make a very great point on there. I can point out two good brands that I know that have actually made an effort to do this. I give Citadel a hard time all the time, but Citadel has a really good dark skin tone contrast paint. I don't know what the name of it is. It's like fire something. I need to apply a couple more layers of it, but actually no, looking at it now compared to my other miniatures, I'm not even going to show that, but praise Vallejo actually has a dark flesh tone color. Now, in my opinion, if you ask me honestly, I don't think that this is a color that might be good for basing, but what I actually do is I mix this with very dark reds to get these darker tones, and then the highlights and stuff. The highlights here end up actually using this. I agree, there's not like it would be more helpful and easier to do so if paint companies took a little bit more initiative to try and help with that representation. But you know, like I was kind of mentioning, like a lot of the stuff that I did here, a lot of this was just mixing paint in my own palette. You know, just like how we do with any other color. If we don't have it, we try to make it. Oh, hello, Warlock Squill. I don't think I saw you in the comments there before. And yeah, no, I'm very much in agreement of that. We can't more initiative from the miniature color paint manufacturers help, but we also shouldn't but we shouldn't let that hold us back either. Is kind of what I'm getting at. Marie Matane. Oh, nice to see you, Marie. Every time I reach for a chocolate or wood or similarly dark skin tone, I feel like yes! Yes, what you've just said right there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what you've just said right there, I feel so strongly about that. There have been many times that I have picked up darker colors and it's like something mud or like wood, and I'm just like, I don't want to have the thought in my head that I'm using a mud color to paint someone's skin. You've hit the nail on the head right there with that. I am in huge agreement with you for that. Oh my goodness, it's so terrible. Yes. No, I'm I was talking with that specifically with my friend who is a person of color, and you know, because he himself encounters the challenge where he doesn't know how to paint or what colors to use for someone of his own skin tone. Like how messed up is that? Right? Like so funny. So funny. Oh, funny is not the right word for it, but I feel like I'm just at a lack of or loss of words. Maybe I'm upset. Maybe that's what it is. It's funny when you don't know your own emotions. So we end up just laughing at everything. But that's all good. Life has to go on, right? But yeah, if you guys are interested, what I can do is for the colors that I used to make these 3 fire giants, let's pull that in a little closer and get my camera settings to adjust a little bit better. It's a little hard to see right now, but so my apologies. I can go over here. Let's see if I can increase exposure just a little bit. I'll keep my pale skin out of it, but if you guys are interested, I can let you guys know what colors I used for these models, so that I can, just like what mixtures I used, because I really do like how they turned out, and I don't want to over highlight them. I think this is her face here is the lightest I've got it, but like there are darker tones. Her hands, because with a lot of people, our face and our hands are actually different colors. The face ends up getting a lot more sunlight and a lot more direction to it. So her hands are a little bit closer to these guys. But you know, I really like how that just turned out. Oh well, thank you. I'm quite happy with my fire giants. It's not very often that I'm significantly. How am I? Oh yeah. And this is what I was talking about with my pale skin. Look at that! I blow up the whole screen. I'm sorry if that hurt your eyes. Let's see here. There we go. It's super sunny out here today. Yeah, I will gladly do that. I will say a lot of the colors that I did use aren't ones that are necessarily easy to get in production, because a lot of these paints are out of production. Is what I meant to say. But there's one other color. What was it? I ended up using this dragon red and this charred brown, if I recall correctly, for the base colors. Because there's like dark brown's not enough. Like you actually need to get some of the warmth from the red, and just like a tiny drop of black. So the idea, and I can post this in my Discord here. And Marie, are you in the Discord? If you're not, feel free to join. I'd love to have some more lovely, wonderful people join in. So I will post a photo, but like this is what the colors end up looking like on here. Oh my goodness. There we go. You can see the mess of my palette from when I'm mixing in the darker pink colors, or the dark skin tones. I'll do something a little bit more in depth in a little bit for recreating those. I added you a couple weeks back. Gotcha. No worries, no worries. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Well, it's lovely to have you join in. Oh, that's why I didn't recognize you at first. Jeez, okay. When did you change your Twitch? Got me all confused. Did you start streaming? Is that why you changed it to Warlock's Quill? Because if you started streaming, you know, I'm going to start asking when your stream schedule is. Are you doing a D&D stream? Wanted to try stream related to another project. Oh, you did start streaming. Well, when you do stream, please post in the self-promotion channel of the Discord. I would love to see Um, you know, I'd love to see what you're doing. Don't have a schedule yet. Very shy. You know what? I understand that. Having the, having yourself be out there online can be a bit intimidating. Oh my goodness, my wet palette, all the excess water's already dried up. Holy heck. A bit, yeah. Well, that's okay. Hey, just know that if you do share and I'm able to attend, you've got one more Canadian in your channel. I mean, we're just Canadian. I'm not intimidating. just a West Coast. That's all. Aw, yeah. What is the French version of aw, yeah? Is it like... It's not... It wouldn't be like oh, oui. Is it? I don't know. My Francais is so bad. I shouldn't even try. Honestly, oh yes! Excellent. I'm very excited to hear that. Nobody would go, oh, we. That would be an American trying to sound French. Oh, that's too funny. I was like, this is why I ask. I don't want to just be like, oh, we. Oh, man. Oh, Murray, you missed out on the stream last week. I had my buddy Mikey join in. And I usually have very wholesome streams, but the stream just divulged into a thirst stream. Here, 1 second. I'm just gonna refresh my wet palette. Yeah, we were talking about the existence of pinup miniatures and that we need to have more male pinup miniatures. Oh, we baguette. Oh no! Oh, we baguette croissant. I know exactly what you're referring to. Meow. Hi, Gannon. Meow. Meow. You coming to say hi? Hey, come up. Hey, Mikey. How's it going? No, I was just talking about what happened last week. Here. Gannon. There you go, buddy. Gannon has come to say hello. Hey, buddy. scratching your head too hard. I can see you got little scabs. Oh, goodbye. It's done with the affection. He is a fur potato. He's a little on the huskies. Oh God, nope, that's the wrong button. I clicked the wrong button. I am so sorry for that. I meant to adjust my focus, not the exposure. Oh my God, I feel so bad for that. That must have been a blinding light. Hi. Are you asking for food? Yeah, you're asking for food. Minnie uses lightning chat as blinded. Oh, I feel so bad. Yeah, it was like the black on this was the only thing that could be seen. Oof. Cannon! No! It's not feeding time. Don't be a jerk. Minnie used flash. Oh, God. Cannon. Don't be a jerk. So hungry. You're so hungry. You're so loud and chatty. Have you noticed how daylight saving times F's up your pet's schedule? He has been pretty fine. But in general, he does ask for food. Like, even whether it's daylight savings time or not, he always asks for food at least 1 hour early. Gannon, you're fine. You're okay. But I'm guessing you've been experiencing that, eh? Gannon. 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 Oh my God. You're fine. Oh my goodness, kitty. Hey, get out of here. Come on. Just the conversation between me and him. Hey. Please stop. Can you be lovely and cute? No. Because you know what the thing is, Marie, is that even after I feed him right now, 1 hour from now he'll demand food again because he expects it. He's like, I got fed early, but I expect regular time food too. He's very manipulative. Alright. I'm just gonna pull this off the camera for 1 sec. Oh, I just realized I painted his nose, but he's actually wearing a nose guard on his helmet. So you can see right here, this actually goes down here. I bet a lot of people have painted that at his nose. So spoiled during COVID, his training really devolved. Oof. That's rough. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry again, this is just a little off the camera. I just need to do this very fine line here. Otherwise I'm going to get black in his mustache. His beautiful glowing mustache. Gannon, you're going to cause your sister to get stressed out. Cut it out. You're the only one doing this. Come on, buddy. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. It's your fault. Yeah, I hear ya. You gave in to the beggies, eh? Just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna kick him out of the room. Okay, I'm back. Oof, that was loud. Sorry about that. I'll just put him in his cat tree. He'll be a bit more content hanging out there. That is what you've just described is what Ganon's going to do for the next hour if he stays in the office. And the challenge is that like I've mentioned before, for anyone who's not familiar, his sister has some super bad anxiety. And one of the triggers for her anxiety is feeding time. So if she thinks it's feeding time, she starts scratching at herself nonstop. And her shoulders have these 2 big scabs because of that. And so when he starts behaving like that, he will actually trigger her anxiety. And she'll start freaking out, thinking that it's feeding time, and that I don't know if it's that she thinks that she's not going to get food. She doesn't have any reason to believe that. But him doing that isn't just annoying, but it's actually like bad for his sister's health. It's a real handful, and I don't know when he became so demanding. Because he didn't used to be like that. By the way, Marie, or Warlock, whichever you would rather me address you by, have you attended any of Starry Night's recent streams? Has he finished Homelander now? I haven't attended any of his recent streams, but, 'cause I mean, when he does his announcement streams, I can't tell what he's working on. And I'm usually working when he streams. And all his announcement says is calling all clay people. And I'm like, I don't know what you're working on. You funny guy. I would watch his VODs, but his VODs are always muted. They're always muted. A lot of people always complain about Reaper Miniatures bones because the bendy swords, just they always talk about it, and like, you know, this sword's drooped a little bit. Unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot I can do with that with gravity. But like, when I want to paint the bottom of this, I just move it. So I can't say that I am of the common opinion with those Reaper bones. I really actually kind of appreciate that that bendy plastic sometimes. So it actually assists me. Bunked camera. So what's everyone else working on right now? Any exciting minis? Any big projects? What are you guys up to? not really doing anything exciting on camera now. Just painting black. Finished a bunch of stucco-like colonial house terrain over the holiday break. Well, that's exciting. I know that you were working on a lot of stuff for a pirate game. I don't know the name of it, though. So is this for the same game? Next painting project is probably some Lanceros. Oh, Lanceros? Is that supposed to be Lancerot? The buildings can be used for a bunch of stuff. D&D, Blood and Plunder. Blood and Plunder, that's what the game was. Oh, my nose is itchy. The unit is called Lanceros, basically Spanish militia with lances. Cool. Is that also for Blood and Plunder? Are you playing Saga? Firelock games. They look like this. Oh, those are cool. And I'm going to have to add Firelock games to my list of miniature companies. I do not have them on there. I am certain of that. Makes good ships. Are they the same company that did Blood and Plunder? Fiddlework does some pretty remarkable terrain. He did a YouTube video where he just assembled a bunch of his Dwarven Forge stuff. And just by me saying that, like, already gives you an idea of, like, how cool terrain options Fiddlework has. Like I don't know any Dwarven Forge stuff, but like the moment like you're playing on a Dwarven Forge set, oh my goodness. It's like your game just evolves right there. Is the gaming company in Blood and Plunder is just one of their many games. Dope. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, Phil, you've looked at the list of miniature companies in the spreadsheet, right? Time to binge. There you go. if any of you guys are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I do also have a YouTube channel. I don't really post anything except for these live streams, but if you guys could give just a subscription, you don't even have to have notifications. I don't blame anyone for not having notifications on, but if I can get 80 subscribers, I get to have a custom URL, and that's really all I want. I just want that custom URL, if I'm being honest. Haven't looked in detail, I'm afraid, to be honest. Don't want to be tempted. Don't want to be tempted what? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Warlock Squill. What do you not want to be tempted by? You don't want to be tempted by Dwarven Forge? So I thought you already have a bunch of Dwarven Forge stuff, don't you? Oh, you haven't looked at the list. Ah, I see. Yeah, no, there's like 80 different companies there. The reason I'm asking if you've looked or not is because there's probably some companies that you know that aren't on that list. And I'm always wanting that list to grow so that people can use it as a resource for finding whatever miniatures best fit their needs. And that way people aren't just stuck with like WizKids and Games Workshop. Ugh. Need to buy more stuff. Yeah, no, I just got in the mail my Yinogu and Demogorgon models from not Games Workshop, Gale Force 9. I've assembled the Yinogu, and the Yinogu's pretty big, but I've yet to assemble the Demogorgon because it's actually a very large model. It's much larger than I had anticipated. Yeah, you will be strong. I wish you the greatest of iron willpower, Fiddlewort. But yeah, no, the Demogorgon's massive. So I haven't assembled it yet because I kind of need to like finish painting some of my minis before I assemble it for storage reasons. So for the community. Oh, too funny. I still find that hilarious. Mostly because I know exactly what you're referring to. It's hard. It's hard not buying minis. I just came into a little bit of money, and my knee-jerk reaction is to spend all of it on miniatures. Right? Oh. Yeah, last time I saw he was working on it was an MDF board, the laser cut MDF, and assembling some houses, and I was asking if he was going to put some stucco in them or not. Basically just use the house as a structure. Yeah. No, Fiddlewort's definitely a terrain guy. I've tried to do terrain, but like I did dungeon tiles, and then afterwards I was like, nope, I can never do this ever again. I will paint made terrain, but I don't want to build it. It's I gave it a shot. I watched a bunch of Black Magic Craft, and I was like, no, I'd rather do painting. Yeah, oh, the process is very cool. Like, Black Magic Craft is... I watch his stuff all the time. And sometimes I will watch... what's his name? I want to say Warlock, but that's not it. It's... goodness. Okay, cool. Yeah, they were super bare looking, and like compared to some of your other stuff that looks like way better, like I looked at that and I was like, man, I think if you just like use those as a skeleton and then like add some nice texture to them and stuff, they'll look like marvelous. Yeah. Oh man, no. Jeremy is remarkable and Canadian. I am always going to shout out every Canadian that I find. Might be a bad habit, might be obnoxious, but I don't really care. I find Canadians on the internet and I go, yes, Canadian. So that's when I found out that what's his name? Quailock? No. Torlock? No, that's not it. Oh my goodness. Wylock. That's what it was. Wylock. I watch his stuff sometimes. How he has to explain exactly where he finds his stuff in Canada. No, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, I super appreciate the fact that he does that. It definitely makes stuff more accessible for his fellow Canadians, and that's why in my sheet I actually started putting little Canadian flags by the names of all the miniature companies that are Canadian. Real terrain hobbies, yep. Yep. I've realized I made a terrible error. So this part right here should be beard. So we're gonna fix that. Which means I'm gonna redo a lot of beard. Whoops. And what's that stuff that he's got behind his beard? What's that all about? I need to take a look at how other people have painted these. Alright, let's take a look here. So people painted that as armor. And yes, they did that. Beardness. Yep, a lot of people painted the thing as his nose. I'm so glad that I caught on to that. Wahahaha. Alright, cool. Good now. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in with my fine point brush. I'm just gonna go in here and be like, this is armor. And this is armor. Dioramas are super hard. I did diorama. I never finished it. And I look at it all the time, every day, and I go, I don't want to finish you. If I'm being truthfully honest. Because it took so much time, and all of that time I could have been painting monsters, which is my true passion. I love painting monsters. I love monsters so much. Oh, the beast is awoken. He's taking his second shot at trying to convince me to feed him. It sounds like. Okay. Bigger beard. The beard is bigger. Heck. Alright. Let's paint some eye. Let's let that dry. Do some eye stuff. Meow, feed me, meow. I cannot express how frustrating it gets. Because it's not like he understands when I talk to him. Like he understands some things. He understands when I'm calling him. But like, I can't express to him, stop your incessant whining. You're making your sister freak out. And you are right now the sole cause of her panic. He doesn't understand that. Hi. Hi. Are you gonna be cute? You gonna be cute? Hey. None of that. You're allowed to sit here. You're allowed to hang out. You're allowed to be cute. Okay? Be cute. Be like that terrible saying about children, that they should be seen and not heard, which is like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, have you seen children? They're not quiet. Hey, crafty Katsu. Alright. Yeah, I can keep him like this. Oh, goodness, yeah. I was just explaining too that like his sister's anxiety gets like triggered by his screaming. Don't care, Ganon. I don't care. No. Yeah. It's okay. My audience is more concerned with your meowing. Talk to the viewers, Ganon. See, this is giving me the cold shoulder. I just got the cold shoulder from my cat. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Because, like, him screaming, I don't know if she's just gotten used to it, like I don't know what is going on with her right now, but she's not freaking out right now, which is good. But she'll panic because she'll think that he's getting fed and she's not, which is obviously not the case. You know, how do you tell that or explain that to a cat with severe anxiety? You don't. And then she starts harming herself. Panic and you freak out. You end up feeding them. cat that is acting like a little jerk ends up feeling convinced that his screaming gets him what he wants. Yeah. Talk to the viewers, Ganon. Ganon turns out and shows the viewers his butt. Yeah. Beautiful. I would pet him, but he'll just start meowing at me. And that's what I'm trying to have not happen right now. So he gets a cold shoulder in return. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No. Not my problem, Ganon. No. Cut it out. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. I will escort you out of this room again. Cut it out. Stop it. Stop it. Did you just try to swat at my paintbrush? Listen here, Buster. That's not okay. Not a toy. When I try to feed him, sometimes what he'll do is, because I use this little scooper, like this big spoon to measure out food, he'll try to swat it to knock food on the floor. Like it's on the way to his bowl, but he'll smack it. And I don't know if it's because it's his impatience. I don't know if it's because he's just like inherently a jerk because he's a cat. I mean that's probably the reason. It's just the fact that he's a cat. Yeah, I love him. I love him a lot. He's actually probably my favorite cat I've ever had. But inarguably, he's also the biggest jerk of a cat I've ever had. Yeah, I love you. I love you the most, but you're also a jerk. Let's see here. Let's try a little bit of flow improver on this metal, see if I can get it to act nicely. Hi, Ganon. Yeah. Yeah. What is it? What is it, Pookum? Dad, you're such a jerk. Quit doing that. Pay attention to me. You're a starving child. Yeah. It's fine, Ganon. Missing any meals. But yeah. So Fiddlewort is gonna be working on some Spanish Lancers. Marie, did you have any minis that you were painting? It sounds like you do miniature painting as well. Do you have an Instagram where you post your miniatures? I don't. You don't paint minis, or you don't have an Instagram? Because if you don't paint minis, I must say you are very knowledgeable for someone who doesn't paint. I do have an Instagram for your D&D print projects. I'll follow that. Plug away. Put in a link. Actually, before you do, allow me to make sure that you're link friendly. So let me go exclamation, regulars, then warlock. And there, you can post links now. What do you mean invalid? Oh, that's why. Regulars, add, then warlock, squill. Oh, there we go. Lots of lurking. Had a friend, made a media, made a lot of models, planes, tanks back in the day. Oh, cool stuff. You are just rude. You know that, Gannon? I just want you to know. I think you're a rude kitty. Yeah. That's how I really feel. Mini terrains, yeah. Doing like a big model set, definitely time investing. Actually, there is a miniature museum on Victoria, or in Victoria on Vancouver Island. That is, I think, for anyone and everyone worthwhile checking out. I got to go there. The first section is all dedicated to war reenactments, but as you go on, there's some sci-fi stuff. There's some King Arthur stuff. Fiddlewort, have you been to the miniature museum that is in Victoria? If not, next time you're in Victoria on the island, I totally recommend checking it out. I was able to visit one in Germany. That's incredible. Yeah, no, again, the war stuff I'm pretty indifferent on. I know that there's an entire miniature community all about just war reenactment stuff, and I mean that's cool, but I'm all about the fiction. So the King Arthur stuff was much more appealing to me. But yeah, apparently this one guy, it was his entire life's work of miniatures. It was all one dude, which is what's super fascinating, because it's multiple rooms full of miniatures. Multiple rooms, and it's not even 28 millimeter, they're 15 millimeter scale, so they're tiny. And obviously, given that it's a bit more of a how do you say, they're not painted to the degree of detail that I paint stuff. And that comes both with what the guy's goals were, as well as the scale. Yeah. So Let me see if I can pull it up. It's super cool. Me and my partner went to Victoria, and we went there, and like it was absolutely astounding. I wonder if I have any pictures of it. I think they may all be on like my last phone that I had, maybe. I have to take a look. Let's see here. Oh no, don't fall. Here, I lay you down. Miniature Museum, Victoria. Yeah, so it's on Humboldt Street in Victoria. It's called Miniature World. And like, wait till you see this. This is just insane. So yeah, so they have Gulliver's Travels, and like there's a whole bunch of photos and stuff that you can check it out. Like, to me this is crazy, especially because like this is just like across the water from me. Apparently he's got a circus world now. I didn't know about this. Am I looking at the right place? In Victoria, yeah. Okay, so, okay. Maybe I missed this stuff first. But yeah, he's got a whole bunch of different exhibits. Old London Town. Yeah, so there's Camelot, Space 2201, Classic Car Rally, Great Canadian Railway. Oh, I remember the Little Mills Lumber Company. Yep. The Valley of Castles, Frontierland, Fantasyland, London, Old London Town, The World of Dickens, Fields of Glory, World of Dollhouses, Swiss Family Robinson, and Circus World. I can't help but feel like there's a lot more than there was before, so I might need to go again. But yeah, super cool stuff. I'm gonna have to take a look at the mini Wonderland that you're referring to there as well. Let's take a look at that. Just paint while I do. Oh yeah, there's lights on it. Yeah, they've got that at the other one as well. Oh, with on actual water. That's exciting. Oh, and it looks like their base there's all around cities. Yeah, it looks like the minis are the same scale and everything. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, that's more or less the same thing. Wonderland is probably larger, I imagine. Yeah, that's the exact same kind of deal, like with what I saw at the one just here in Victoria. Let's see. So I've got that. Okay, so with this one, I'll try that. I kind of like that a little bit better. If I just do this bit. Oh, is there? I didn't see it on the website. I'll have to take a look again. Mostly I just saw like city names. Ooh, cycling through day and night, that's cool. One of the things I really liked about the Victoria one is that they just about everything was narrated. So like every room you went into in the lakes, like you could press a button, and there would be a voice that would narrate like the scenery. It would either tell the story of like it would tell the story of like what was on display. So for the Camelot one, like you go through display after display after display, and it would talk about the story of King Arthur and the like, which was super cool. Yeah, I'll have to take another look. Ideally when I'm not painting, but I will take a look at that. That is very cool. I'll have to keep that in mind if I'm ever in Germany or make a trip out there. I am not fluent in German whatsoever. So I can't imagine the videos will really help much except for just, you know, more display of it. Yeah. So for the interactive buttons, it was the same deal. Like if you pressed a button, like the sawmill would start moving and the likes, or the trains. It was all very cool. Okay, so getting that bit done up, looking a little nice. I kind of like the idea of that being more steel-y, but let's see here. Having the chains hang there, it kind of makes more sense for the chains to be more of a metal color like that. What to do, what to do, what to do. Oh, I'll do a second coat on these because I know I like this. But yeah, with those kinds of mini painting scale, like in terms of painting them, it's usually like very fast. Like there's no shading or lighting effect taken into account. Rather, instead, it's take some pinky peach color, paint all the skin, make the shirt red or make the shirt blue. It's a very, because in those the goal isn't to make the people necessarily quite the focal point, but rather the entire scenery, right? Yes, Ganon. Yeah. 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 Are we talking? Are we having a conversation? Is that what you and me are doing, Ganon? Not just incessant wailing? Yeah. Yeah. Meow. Hmm. Oh, you're heading out, Fiddlewort? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in, buddy. You have a good one. Oh yeah, and that's exactly what he wants. He wants me to pity him. There's no doubt about that. Pity the fool. And the English version of the website. Oh, cool. Thank you so much there, Crafty Katsa. I appreciate that. I'll be able to spend my shift going and checking out their stuff. I may not be able to make it there myself, or at least this year, but I can always just appreciate their website. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Alright, so turn to get all that stuff looking nice. I should probably redo the orange on his beard. Spread the orange out. think it was made by like two brothers. Oh, that's exciting. They're still doing it, eh? I wish my brothers shared my hobbies. Gannon, you just shush. You're pitiful whining. You're fine. You're okay. You're safe. You live a life of not having to know any danger, Gannon. I was gonna do this like a color. We'll figure it out. Always be taking and ruining your stuff. Well, that's just when you ask them to split the cost of the materials, like the tools that you use and the like. Yeah, figure out something together. Oh no, just if he's going to use your things, that's what you set out. Just fairness, Like, for example, if my brothers were in miniature painting, or into that, we were still living together, and we're like, yeah, sure, you can use my equipment, but you have to pay for half the paints, and you have to have your own brush set. He's not going to let me use my brushes. Not because I'm scared he's going to ruin my brushes. My brushes cost virtually nothing. But I want to make sure that I can do painting at the same time, And obviously this is different across different hobbies. I don't know your brother. I have make no presumptions on what your relationship with him is like, but just speaking out of like how I would approach the situation, provided everyone's compliant, and that would be it. Well, I mean, if that's the case, then you just don't share your equipment with them, and that's it. And that is that. I mean, a bathroom is different than hobby supplies, but, I kind of get what you're saying. Let's see, I could probably increase the exposure again. Nope, that one's too high, so there we go. Just like that. Well, I mean, you know, it's when you try to talk with him about it. If he doesn't get it after that, then, you know, probably just have to store them elsewhere. Or express to him like, hey, you know, these are not cheap. But, you know, that's between you two. Okay. So I kind of like the idea of going over this face here, making it kind of a different metal. Hello, Cannon. Hello, Cannon. I'm liking how that's turning out. Nope. Hey, cut it out. The backstory. Don't really have anything planned yet. Kind of just saw the models and I was like, man, those look really fun to paint. What was it? I ordered a lot of giants that day. I mostly ordered fire giants. I picked up a couple frost giants. There was a reason I picked up so many giants. What was it? I hadn't started my my other fire giant yet when I ordered these. I think Reaper had they had a deal going